Hey, Shalom, call Allah, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Chakadash, the bonds of the apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continue fighting that good fight of faith. Lord willing, we're finding that number to be delivered, right? Well, that being said, I want to talk a little bit about buying and selling, because we understand that that's one of the main conclusions to receiving the mark of the beast. Being able to buy and sell, right? You know, regardless of what you may be hearing by different groups and different individuals, the mark of the beast, the main conclusion is being able to buy or sell, right? And one thing about buying and selling, it's a privilege, right? You have the ability to go online, you have the ability to go into the department stores and go about your business freely without any impediments of you going to seek out what you want. Part of the point of buying, right? So when you think about buying and selling, you have to also think about what it is that would make somebody want to prevent somebody from buying or selling something, right? Because when you read the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter, it says he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, right? And it's not a very hard concept to follow, all right? Once you take the junk philosophies that people are trying to incorporate into this thing. Once you take that out and just look at it plainly, it's clearly talking about, people being deprived of doing something. Now, in order to truly understand what's going on and what's happening in these last days, in order to truly understand it, you just can't read Revelation, the 13th chapter, and come to the conclusion that, yeah, there's going to be a mark, because it's much wider than that, all right? The scriptures talk about counting the cost. We're not the only ones who should be counting the cost. Esau also has counted the cost, all right? And he has put all his ducks in a row to the point where you people don't even see it or realize it. For example, buying and selling, right? You do it freely. The minute somebody says you can't do something, now you have to ask yourself why. And the elites of the world, they know exactly what they're doing to the people. They're going to prevent you from buying and selling. Why? Because there's a sinister spirit that the Lord has put on this planet to get these things done. Why would one want to prevent somebody from buying something? Well, let's think about it. Population control, right? That also is incorporated into this buying and selling. Now, again, we can speculate on different things, but if you have noticed recently, there's a lot of store closings, right? These stores aren't closing just because. There's a lot of things taking place. There's a lot of moving parts. And with these store closures, you're now limiting the availability for people to go and shop. All right? Look at it like this. You got a 4-lane highway, right? And that 4-lane highway condenses down to 3 lanes. And then it condenses down to 2 lanes till it finally bottlenecks down to 1 lane. All right? So pretty much traffic that was flowing smoothly and freely has now come to an abrupt halt, so to say, because now there's only one direction to go, or 1 lane to go. Likewise, with these stores and these closings of these stores, they're going to close enough stores where being able to shop is going to be limited. All right? But if you think about limitations, one of their main goals is to control the population. All right? And with controlling the population, what does that mean? There's not going to be as many people needing to go places, needing to shop, needing to buy things. So it all goes hand in hand, if you will. All right? You just can't say the mark of the beast is sin and let that be that. All right? So ask yourself another question. For the time that we're living in, who's in control? The wicked. All right? And it's only right that the wicked start to implement wicked ideas. You see? Now, one of the main and key things that's in society today is digital movement, if you will. Digital capability. Everything's digital, right? Now, when we talk about the mark of the beast, we say it's what? The implantable microchip, which now flows fluently with the agenda of what these elites got going on for this world. We're hearing more and more about digital this, digital that, the Internet of Things, right? So buying and selling is even to the point where people go online and they're buying via their credit card. All right? They're not physically going to the stores. They're not physically, spending, tangible cash. It's all being done digitally through the computer system. Right? And again, the RFID is exactly that. It's digital. So buying and selling, or the lack thereof, is going to be of a deprivement of these people. Okay? Which now leads you to what? People having no choice but to depend on this system, this new digital system, because of all the things that have, been linked to it. They're gonna link the welfare system's gonna be linked to it. The food programs are gonna be linked to it. Your health information is gonna be linked to it. I mean, everything that you can encompass in life is going to be linked to this new digital way of living, right? So let's say they say buying and selling is sin. The powers that be don't give a goddamn about sin. They care about control, man. They want to control you. They don't care whether or not if you sleep with another man's wife, whatever the case may be. They don't care about all that. Because at the end of the day, you're still going to have to what? Have the need to buy and sell something. And likewise, the selling part. I mean, contrary to what many may believe, you have a lot of these businesses as well that aren't too keen with this whole new digital structure that they're coming up with. All right? Some of these people still have some type of, conscience where they're not, fully persuaded into implanting some device in your hand. All right? And this is why the scripture says that no man's going to be able to do this. No man's going to be able to buy or sell anything. You can have a group of franchises, but if you aren't playing ball or getting in order or being on the same page as this new digital system, then it doesn't matter how many food chains you have. You out of here. Like it says, that no man may buy or sell save he that have the mark, except he that have that mark. All right? So it's not about whether it's sin or not. It has nothing to do with sin. Now, if you're looking at it from the standpoint of making an incision and cutting into your flesh, yes, that's against our law. All right? But this thing the scriptures talk about not just the implementation of this mark, but now it's being put into a realm where you are going to be deprived of doing what you normally would do come time to go pick up groceries. You jump in the car, you go to the store, you go buy your stuff, you know? So all that being said, you know, you have to truly exhaust all the avenues when talking about buying and selling, because it's more vast than just, oh, you know, the chip and no one's gonna be, no. This thing has strategically been set up where every avenue is gonna be locked down, man. They got every avenue sold up. There's gonna be no way around it. You know, people talking about we going off the grid, we going into the wilderness, or we going into, you know, we're going into buying wood. You ain't going no goddamn where, man. Esau has every inch of this land covered, man. With them towers, the phone, the pinging of the cell phones, the pinging of the towers, you know, different locations. You don't think he's already scoured the whole earth? Looking to see where there's a way? Don't you know the scriptures say he made ways where there was no way? And you think you're going to stumble upon a piece of land that nobody knows about? Come on, man. And even then, you know, if you want to get a piece of property, you just ain't going to venture off into the woods and stake your claim. Like, oh, I found this, I own it. No. You're going to have to go to somebody, and somebody's going to have to say, okay, if you want to purchase this land, or if you want to buy this land or piece of property, you have to what? You have to be in the system, meaning you have to have that device, that chip. Okay? So don't let people, you know, try to, you know, get you to believe that the market, the MOTB is sin. You know, that's just a route that a lot of these people are taking, because they're going to end up taking that thing under the guise of, oh, you see, we never said it was that. So therefore, they're going to allow their friends and family and members of their congregation to step right up and take it, man. Now, you people do what you want to do, but don't say that you haven't been warned, or say that nobody told you. All right? Buying and selling, digital technology, RFID technology, radio wave technology. All these things are the way, quote unquote, of the future. Sleeping with white women and being sin, you know, you're really on a low, super low level if you're coming to these conclusions. You're on a very super low level. All right? We're living in the time where the wicked is about to show his horns. And shit, even the wicked is telling you that our MOTB is spoken about in the Bible. Even the wicked is telling you that, man. And we don't like to, you know, take too much of what these devils say too tough, but every now and then, as the scripture says, they'll make their own tongue fall upon themselves. So buying and selling is a very, very important, you know, element to the MOTB. You know, if you say buying and if you say the mark of the beast is sin, all right. So does that mean people can go out and go buy some sin? You're not gonna be able to go buy sin. Sorry, you can't buy that bag of sin because you don't have the mark of the beast. You know? These are questions you got to really sit down and ask yourself. Why is it mentioning buying and selling when it makes reference to the MOTB? What is that all about? Examine it. Do research. Put the pieces of the puzzle together. And then maybe you can get understanding if the Lord will let you receive it. You know? John the Revelator spoke about buying and selling for a reason. There's a reason why. Because like I said at the outset of this lesson, buying and selling is a privilege. And that privilege is going to be revoked. It's going to be taken away from you. Okay? So, you either are going to receive it or not receive it. And all those who don't receive it, you can kiss going to the supermarket, even going into a supermarket. Alright? That shit is done. And it's going to happen in this lifetime. It's going to happen in the very near future. You know? Can you picture yourself not being able to have access to a supermarket anymore? Can you picture yourself not being able to have access to just the common everyday, essentials that you need? Driving a car, that's gonna be out of here. You think you're gonna be able to just get in your car and go down the road if you don't have that mark? You ain't gonna be able to get no gas. You ain't gonna be able to get no food. You ain't gonna be able to do any goddamn thing because the scripture says so. Alright? So prepare yourselves, man. Prepare yourselves for what's about to come. The days of you walking down the road and just going into a little bodega or a little store or whatever to buy, water or buy some gum or whatever. Them days are about to be numbered, man. Those days are really about to be numbered. And then, as we say, the rubber's gonna meet the road. What kind of man you gonna be in that day? You women, what kind of woman you gonna be in that day? And a lot of you women are gonna fall victim to this chip for the mere fact that you're not gonna want to see your kids suffer. You're not gonna want to see your kids starve. Likewise, what they did with the vax, same thing. They put the screws to people, put the boots to the people. Whoa! If you don't get this, you can't work here no more. And what was the first thing people said? I got a mortgage. I got kids to feed. All right? But more so now, it's going to be a much smoother transition because they've already primed your mind to understand the methods that they're going to use. Until it becomes a thing of, it's just a chip. Everybody's going to get it, So be on the way, be on the ready, man. Really be on the ready, and prepare your soul for the things that are about to come down the pipe, So with that, I just wanted to speak a little bit about that buying and selling because that is one of the main components or the main conclusions to the MOTB, And what more can you? John the Revelator didn't have to really get into much more of that because the severe impact that it's going to have. It's going to be a very severe impact on the people, man. And you people don't believe it because it's never been done before. You people don't believe it because nobody's, trying to tell you about it or tell you the truth about it. But when it hits, and it will hit, then you're going to know that the mark of the beast was the MOTB, was that digital technology, okay, that these devils have been putting together over the past 20, 30 years. Alright? So with that, Lord willing, I'm going to end it there, just about to the destination. And I'll see you guys on another show. I say shalom.